we know about this. We can actually claim, instead of having an n minus 1, we can say that our starting amount in 2018 is going to be our 0 term, because that's when we bought it. So we're going to make that our 0 term. So we're going to manipulate our formula a little bit by simply just getting rid of that minus 1. Realize this is a special case. It's not something that happens very often. So this is the rule. This is the exception. So let's fill out what we know. G of 1 is what? R is what? 0.25. We like that? 1.25?
Yeah, I did.
1.25. Okay. Always, if you're increasing, you're going to have that 1. So I got 1.25. And then I need to raise it up to some year. I'm not doing
11. Wait,
2030.
wait. I did it for 2030.
Well, it is 2030, but that's not going to be my exponent. If year 0 is 2018,
Oh, it'd be 12 years.
it'd be 12
Minus
years.
1, which is 11.
No. Because we're at 0, it's just 12. All right? That's why I erased up here, because I made this year 0 instead of year 1. So I got 12, and that means I'm looking for my 12th term. Go ahead and calculate. For your test, I don't answer any calculator questions. I don't even tell you what the exponent key is. So you do need to keep practicing. You've had 2 weeks plus tomorrow.
So this test is really just about calc skills.
It actually is pretty heavily based on that. It's kind of half of
And
it.
we have these equations on the test, right?
Yes.
That's what Miss H was talking about yesterday.
Yep. You have them. They're written right on top of that.
Wait, so why don't we have n minus 1?
Right? So, really didn't want to dive into this. But if we make this a 1, you actually have to scale with your subtraction from 12. You actually have to add a 1 because of how the problem is set up. So then you get 13 years. But then that tracks back down because then we minus the 1. You still end up with 12. It just leads to a little bit more confusion. So we just go with this base formula.
So why is this?
So we're starting at the 0 term instead of the first.
Is there going to be something like this on the test then?
Not necessarily. The problems are a little bit more straightforward. You get to choose. So we could have chose to start at the first one. We could have chose to start with the first one. If we do that, it just makes our years a little bit more difficult to deal with.
Well,
So that's why I chose just for all of us not to. Because then you didn't have to. But that's a really good question. So if I do change it to 1, then I have to bump the year up, and it actually gets us to 13. It's a pattern that happens over and over again. You just don't always see it. You don't have to worry about it. I'll talk to you a little more about it. Okay? So we got this. When we calculate it out, what did we get as an answer? Say that one more time. 2,000.
Good amount of cash right there.
Good amount of cash.
Nichols, that's a good investment. TS.
That is a good investment. Do we agree with that? Yeah. Should I round that answer?
Nice socks. I got those same ones.
Should I round that answer? It is rounded. Money, it always should be rounded to 2 decimal places, to the hundredths. So that's good.
Yeah, that's how I rounded it too. Rounded it, whatever you want.
You loaded it like that.
This is definitely a good reminder that you always are rounding if it's money. I will never tell you to round money, but you always have to. So, our next problem. We're going to split the class. So, this problem is just like our normal problems. Okay, so they're going to follow the formulas over there. Exactly. And so, use them. Okay, there's nothing fancy going on. So, we're going to split the room. These 3 rows, you are the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay? So you are doing half the work. You do that half, you can jot down the other work that the other side contributes. You 3 rows are the Green Bay Packers. This is where I will be passing the marker off a lot. So you have to answer by filling in the table, letter B, letter C, and letter D. So I'll be handing the marker off as we go, but you got time to work now. So work with someone next to you if you would like. But like I said, I'll have the marker and I will be passing it off. If you don't do any work, I basically will 100% pay you. Yeah.
Are we counting like the end of the first year or like the start of the first year?
We started that year with 52,000, so the next start of the year.
Okay, I don't know for year one, if you wanted to start with 52,000 or start with.
Yep. So one is going to be 52,000. Yep. You just keep going.
Nichols, I finished. Yeah, I'll go up there.
Start by filling out the table. Right.
I'm done. Yo, that's really bad, Nichols. Yo, how do I erase? What do you mean up top? Is it this?
Other way. Other way.
I don't think I have erase.
I don't actually very often.
Oh, alright.
Hey, yo, Wendy, can you give me the point? Some. Yo, Loki, I would become a teacher just to write on this board.
Keep going. Alright, thank you.
Ain't that nice now, Nichols? Huh?
Is that a 6 or 0?
That's a 6.
You should figure it out.
Do I have to do it in green?
No.
What?
You gotta pick a line though or color.
So this is for the same. No.
Alright.
I do not like this pen.
Yeah, I know, I'll work on that.
5 years, who's making more? Oh, come on, 5 years, who's making more? No. Oh, 5 years. Yeah, 5 years.
Where are your
Where are your tablets?
Okay, next problem. You're looking at letter B, so you can fill out those tables, you can compare, get those down. But then now you're looking at letter B, so you're doing what kind of calculation? Which formulas are you using for this calculation? Yes, but Simon, which formula are you using? Which number?
Mine I did two.
Okay, perfect. So the geometric folks, you are using number 2. Arithmetic, you're using number 1. Get that calculation. Yeah, you can bring that up with you. You don't have to convert that to memory. All right. You did the work.
My dad was like my pop.
$80,000 your 15th year. Not too shabby. And the Brewers.
Holy shoot. Nicholas, how do I erase?
It's really
It's
yeah.
how do I draw?
Yeah.
How do I draw?
This is the difference.
How do I draw?
So the erases of this one have been drawn.
E-man's got it.
Oh, so you could actually do this way. The same thing with it. So, yeah, you don't have to redo these. Just make sure you're following them on. Mr. Nichols, why did I not know how to do this?
Sorry. That's fine.
Here, I'll help you. There you go.
Hey, Nicholas, I'm
I'll
losing
do
it.
more.
What's N again?
All right. And let's talk briefly. So n in this case is 15. So we have a very nice job for the Brewers over here. They got 15 minus 1, so just plugging that in for n. Over here, we also got a very nice job of 15 minus 1. Notice the difference between just in line versus up top. So we are clearly showing what our exponent is. Details matter. I will take points every time your exponent is not where it's supposed to be, or if it's not supposed to be an exponent and it is an exponent, I will take points. Some people like to try this. It's not an exponent, Nichols. Don't you see it's a, no, if I can't tell, it's wrong. All right, so make it clear. There's no if in between, all right? So be warned on that. So we do got $89,096.92 over on this side. So which company is paying more? Obviously, the Packers. In your 15th year, you're making a little bit more change. We're going to change the question now, and now we're going to say who pays more over that course of a year, of 15 years. So now we're looking at sums. So we're looking at 3 and 4 for the formulas. So if you want to go ahead and start writing those out, get a calculation for yours. This is what? Oh, keep going. It could, but if we made that our 0 value, then we would have to change these. So if we would use the 0, and then that would change.
A for adding G.
You got this, Hayden.
I was gonna ski in the morning.
So GM1 is 45,000. What's your So that's what R is going to be. So on the top and on the bottom. And then N is just how many turns you have. You have 15. So you can fill those pieces in.
Yo, Nicholas, can you use this one?
Third year. Or the
15. So I'm trying to figure out the sum of all of it.
Okay, so take that.
But
Yeah, that's it. And then you divide it.
514, right?
This is your multiplier. This is R. So it's 1.05.
Yo, Nicholas. How do I go back to the last problem?
And then what you can do is you can hit divide. And it just takes that answer.
Okay, but that's still the, oh, now it does.
Yep, that's good.
Nichols, figured this out. So, after 15 years, you would get money, and then on the 15th year, the Packers
How do you erase? This supposed to be 5.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take care of it for you. Thank you, Eli.
Am I supposed to print these?
No, if it's in a fraction like that, it's actually okay. That's a 5, you said, Eli?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so, talking quickly, which company's paying more over those 15 years? Who? Who pays more over 15
I
years?
got you, Nichols.
Alright,
On the 15th year, the Pack will pay you more, but after those 15 years, the Brewers will have paid you more.
correct. So, think about that. Which company are you choosing? Choosing the Packers?
Well, it depends how long you're going to work.
It depends how. It does depend. So I'd say there's actually no wrong answer. Okay, it depends on stuff, and you are going to have to make choices, and there's not going to be an answer key to tell you what you should choose. You're just going to have to think about things and make your own choice. He's just like, whoa. So yeah, it depends on a few things. I'm making more here in my 15th year, but I also missed out on some cash. Here, they did pay me more, and actually, they paid me more in total. Maybe I could be investing that money. Or, what's another option? Do I have to stay with one of these companies the whole time?
You can switch.
I could switch. Where would I want to start?
You would want to start with Milwaukee.
I would want to start with Milwaukee, and assuming I could jump ship and just go laterally over, just change positions, if they gave me the experience that I got with Milwaukee and I jumped over, I could get more earnings in the beginning, and then I could take the more earnings at the end. That'd be a pretty sweet deal. But again, this is only based on how much you make. It's not based off anything else. So we haven't talked about other factors in terms of a job. Let's slide down a little bit. 30 years. Make those calculations.
Can I switch it to an eraser real quick? Oh, I think only one of us can draw it.
I appreciate you. Ed. Yes.
I'll let you finish.
How do you switch it back?
Yo, Nichols, does this thing have the fingerprint entry too? Like we. Why is your button so little?
Where's that change?
Yo, I really don't care. 14.
There we go. Thank you, Chase. All right, taking a look up here. 30 years. Does it make sense that the Packers pay more? Yeah, because at 15 you were making more money. So then eventually you're just making that much more, and it is going to continue to compound and just make you more and more money. So again, you could think about switching jobs. You could think about, hey, I start here and I jump ship. Not a bad deal. You know, for me, like as a teacher, honestly, I did kind of jump ship. So like schools up north or schools further south in Wisconsin, they pay more initially. So I was teaching up north for a while, and then it's like, okay, I'm moving back. But then, you know, the schools that are north, I don't know about south on this, they don't pay you as much at the end. So like they cap it. 15 years, they don't pay you anymore. You don't get a raise, you're just stuck there. Whereas Wausau or the surrounding districts, they continue to pay you for like 20 or 30 years. They continue to give you raises. So I played the game a little bit, just how it worked out. But it is something for you to think about. What are other things to think about other than just a wage? How much you're making, Chase? Location. So location does matter. Do you want to be by your family? Do you not want to be by your family? Do you want to be in a city? Do you want to be in the woods? What do you want to do? That does matter quite a bit. Okay?
Benefits.
Benefits are huge. So
Do you get free healthcare?
I do not get free healthcare. However, before Act 10, I believe they got pretty dang close. They paid a little bit, but not much. I do have to pay. So, good question. It is. Oh, what? All right.
Do you get a company car?
Blade. Pension. Pension's huge. So, does every job have pension?
Only government.
Pretty much only government. So, and that is even state by state. So, if I was teaching in Minnesota, for example, I don't have a pension. They're just gone. They have like, they say that they're working on and stuff, but it's basically nothing. Like $100 or something like that. Like you're not getting money. Here they do have a very good pension, so that is something to think about. There are other private jobs though that do have pensions, like GreenHeck. I know they have a system set up to help out, but other things? Yeah, most union jobs do. Any of the trades, the journeymen, those things will typically happen. Other things that you think about. You're getting to this point in your life where you got to think, what do you want out of a job? Some of you have jobs. What do you look for? What are anything else? Retirement benefits, yeah. So that kind of goes with.
You got a job with retirement lined up at 16.
Well, you should be thinking about it. My wife actually worked at DC Everest, and she worked there just like for 4 hours in the evening, and they put money into a retirement account for her. And so she did not work a lot of hours, obviously, but it was in the state of retirement, and then she became a school counselor. So what do you think added to that? She didn't necessarily plan that, but it was a very nice benefit. Other things.
Free food and season pass.
Benefits.
Downhill skiing.
That's like $1,200 saved instant. Like
All right.
$18.50 an hour.
What's pretty big right now in terms of jobs?
McDonald's.
No. It,
Remote or online?
remote or online is pretty big. So if you can get that job, that's something to think about. AI is pretty huge right now. So you people are entering the workforce when AI is kind of also hitting the stride. So like you want to think about the job that you're taking, the AI, if you ask it, it will tell you what jobs it thinks are safe and what jobs it doesn't think are safe. Is AI always right? No, there could be unforeseen things. Okay, it's like we talked about in stats. You extrapolate the future, weird things can happen. Not always right, but it is something for you to think about. It's something you should consider. You shouldn't necessarily be scared about it. You got to leverage AI. You got to use it, but it's just something to think about. Questions? All right, we got 2 problems left. Read this one. We're going to talk about it briefly.
Can you tap louder?
The guy that's always making noises talking.
The irony. All right.
Iron.
Keep reading. Just reading. What is this thing talking about? Okay. You got nothing. Just what's it talking about?
A pendulum.
Okay, a pendulum. So a pendulum says it's swinging. It does some stuff. We're gonna decipher what matters, what doesn't. That 55 feet. Does that matter?
No.
Oh, it actually doesn't matter. Okay. If you're doing some physics calculations on acceleration and stuff, it absolutely would matter. But for us, the distance traveled, it doesn't really do anything. So I do have, a dot up here, a string or a wire or whatever coming down, and then my pendulum's right here. And so this thing swings. What is the first distance of the swing?
8
8 feet, okay, which would be 100%. It's the start. Then this thing swings back. Does it swing back 8 feet?
No, it swings back 99.5%.
Correct. So it's close, but it's not there. Then it swings back. And then it swings back. So it's not quite making it. So every single one of these swings is unique and different, correct? And it's going to follow a pattern. So now let's talk. When does this stop? Does it ever stop if it's always doing this? Mathematically, it won't stop. We know gravity is going to get it to stop. But mathematically, it's not going to. So let's talk about that. Arithmetic or geometric? Geometric. So if it doesn't stop, where is it going to? Infinity. If it's going to infinity, and it's geometric, is it decreasing? Yes, so then the sum is going to exist. So what do I need to know? I need to know my first term. What's my first term?
Oh, I already did that, and I think I got it wrong.
1 minus. What am I minusing? This is going to be a cause for some debate among us.
0.99.
.995. What? What? Why? Let's think about it. So I could change the verbiage, and then Chase, you would be right. So if I change the verbiage and said it loses this much on each swing, then it would be the .005 because I'm losing that, and then I only care what I'm actually getting. But this is what I am getting. This is what's happening. This is
Wait, so
What's
is it
going
99.5 or 99.99?
it's .995.
How's it-
Remember, if this was 100%, that just translates to 1. Okay. So let's do our quick calculation here. Get that answer.
7.005. How did I type that exact thing in?
You put parentheses here. Do that. Type it in it.
1600.
I'll be back. Hey, you wanna be my English teacher for the day?
That's the right answer.
Why do you assign it?
Huh?
I mean, I'm
It goes 1,600
Yeah,
feet.
Take 200.
Think about it this way. Think about this briefly with me. So I start at 8, right? Let's find our next term. So let's take 8 times .995. Let's see what we get. 7.96. If I multiply it again by .995, I get, oh, that's sad. 7.9202 plus. So think about this. This is decreasing so small. It's decreasing by such a little amount each time that this is going to go for quite a ways, right? We'll probably have like 20 turns and we'll still be at 7. Even more than that. It's going to just keep going on and on. So when we do add all of those up, it is going to be a pretty big number. That pendulum is going to do a lot of swinging. It is going to take a really long time for this thing to really get to that really tiny amount that's really insanely close to 0. So that's why it's that big. Questions? Last problem. You've done this one before, so I'll give you about 5 minutes to try it. And I want you to work with people next to you. It is the golf ball. I will tell you right now, R is going to be 0.65. Try to draw a picture, see what you get. Yes. It's kind of fun. It's child-proof, Chase. I know. You got this. I got faith in you. I'm not gonna lie, those child-proofs have got me a few times.
That's strictly off memory. Strictly off memory. I don't know if that's right. Is that good? Look at the highlights here. Oh yeah.
I'll talk about that in a minute. Gross. All right.
I didn't do it.
So there's two ways to do this again. So this is 30 feet tall. Does anyone have an answer if they want to throw there? We're gonna go through it regardless. We're just gonna check it. Okay.
46 and 213.
Any other answers? I'll take as many as I can get.
201.
Any other answers?
85.71.
This is more than I thought I was gonna get.
So there's no right answer.
Now you're just throwing out numbers. All right, let's talk about it quick. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to break this problem up. So the last time I showed you this, I showed you the way that I like to do this problem. I'm going to show you a slightly different way, which I did show as well, but this time I'm going to focus on it. So I have the down and the up. So if I'm looking at the down portion of this, I'm looking at this. And so I'm going to start with g of 1, which is 30, and then I'm going to divide that by 1 minus 0.65, and I calculate. And when I calculate that, I believe it's 85 and, yeah, all right. 0.78? 718? All right. I'm just calculating now. I'm actually taking none of those answers.
What'd you get, Nick?
And I'm going to take 85 and 5/7.
Bruh.
Okay. Next. So I did the downs, but we need to do the ups. So I need to know what the up starts at. So this is at 30. So to find this next height, I go times 0.65, and that gives me that height right there. And when I do that, it's like 19.5 or something. Yeah, it's 19.5. So then when I'm looking at the up portion, that's this, I do another calculation to infinity. And so I go 19.5 over 1 minus 0.65. So that gives me 55 and 5/7. So to find that total, I'm going to add these together, and it's going to be pretty dang close to this one, but it's not going to be the exact same. So when I add them up together, I'm going to get 141 and 3/7. And if you type that in your calculator, realize what that's rounding to. Okay? So we're doing just a little bit of rounding. So that's the one option of doing it, okay? The option that I prefer to do is just take this answer, 85 and 5/7, double it, because I have ups and downs that are doubled. But what's the one that's not doubled? The 30. Because I don't have anything right here going up. So I have to get rid of that. So I just double the 85 and 5/7, and then I minus 30 away. You get the same answer. Questions?
I don't like it, Nicholas.
That's all right. Last thing I'll say. If I'm looking at the sum to infinity, what's the answer to this one? Does not exist. Yeah, no work. I can change that. And now if I look at this, what's the answer to this one? Does not exist. Remember,
Needs to be under 1.
if your multiplier is greater than 1 or 1 itself, it doesn't exist. Okay? And also, if it is 1, it's no longer a geometric function. So, just something to think about. Is -1/2 okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got to be greater than -1. Okay? Can it be 0?
No.
No, not a geometric function. Okay? So, that's what we got. You got some time to do the homework. It's on the back wall. Good luck.